Yes, be a good meeting. But, back to 16.
Okay, check in. Everyone please stand for Pledge of Allegiance. Remain standing for short introduction. Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dear God, as we gather this evening, we ask you for your strength, courage, and wisdom. We thank you for this wonderful town that we live in and the privilege that it is to serve in it. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Call to order the July 18th meeting of the Mooresville Town Council. Gentlemen have had a chance to read the minutes from a previous meeting. I need a motion to either approve or amend.
I'll make the motion we approve the minutes as written.
Motion been made. Do I have a second? Second. Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstained.
Aye.
Josh Gregg, 301 or 302. Next item on the agenda is the confirmatory resolution for the Ascension Group on real property, and this is the abatement on a second. We did one at our last meeting. This is on a second improvement, real property improvement that they're doing. Gentlemen had it. Oh, this is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the public that would like to speak either for or against the resolution declaring this area a redevelopment area? I need a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Greg, Josh, 5-0. Now I need a motion to approve or deny confirmatory resolution 17-2023.
Motion to approve confirmatory resolution number 17-2023.
Motion been made. Do I have a second? Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Greg, Josh, 5-0. Next item on the agenda is the salary ordinance amendment. Oh. Hearing. That's all. And then close the public hearing. Greg, Josh, 5-0. Wait, well, they did, and it was the same vote. Thank you, Zach. This was the salary ordinance amendment that we had had our first reading at our last meeting. This was bringing the probationary pay for the fire department up to and equal to the price difference or the dollar amount difference that is in the police department. This was something that had been overlooked in the past, and this council had decided to try to repair that. I need a motion. Like I said, this is the second reading. I need a motion to either amend or approve the ordinance 7-2023, amending the salary ordinance.
Make a motion we approve the salary ordinance 7-2023, amending the salary ordinance 9-2022.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Josh Gregg, 5. You have that.
public hearing on the additional appropriation ordinance 8/2023. Gentlemen, at our last meeting, we'd asked that legal counsel prepare this for the Monroe Street project. There were items that were not covered with the Community Crossings Matching Grant Funds, and that includes up to and including the easements and right-of-ways that we needed. We had enough to pay the first right-of-way through budgeted money out of the Riverboat Fund that we had budgeted to cover in the event that we had received a full $1 million grant from Community Crossings Matching Grant. This dollar amount is $250,000 out of the Riverboat Reserve for capital improvements. This is a public hearing. Is there anyone in the public? Am I not speaking loud enough? I apologize. We have some earphones if you were. Do what? Don't sit by him. I'm very sorry about that. This is a public hearing for that additional appropriation. Is there anyone in the public that would like to speak either for or against the additional appropriation? I need a motion to close the public hearing.
Motion to close the public hearing.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Greg Jeff, 5-0.
You don't have to suspend the rules because you had a public hearing.
Okay.
So you can take action anytime after a public hearing.
Okay. We can pass this on the first reading. That would put the money in there. I think, Dave, the project is rolling along, correct? I need a motion to either approve or deny Ordinance 8/2023.
Motion to approve ordinance 8/2023.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Greg Josh, 5-0. Next item on the agenda is the Resolution 18/2023. This is declaring certain properties within the Parks Department as surplus. These are the 3 lawnmowers. Have we got the new ones yet?
Not yet. They were on order. They should have been received. Tomwood Outdoor Equipment this week. We should be receiving them as early as this Friday. They need to do the final assembly, and then they'll pack it up on a trailer and send it up our way. So hopefully it'll be later next week at the very latest. So the equipment is currently right now with the season of throwing, we're kind of in that stagnant stage, so we're actually paused in mowing. Our equipment's being cleaned as we speak, and we'll be ready for evaluations and that's the resolution this evening.
Are there any questions of Phil? I think he laid this out pretty well with when we made the decision to purchase the new equipment. I need a motion to approve or deny Resolution 18/2023.
Make the motion, we approve Resolution 18/2023.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Dane, was that you?
Yep, that was him. You just say it at the same time?
Yeah, you.
Okay.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Dane, 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda is the event coordinator, Regina Shelby. I always want to say Selby. I'm sorry. That's the fine.
Not at all. Okay, so I sent an email to all of you on Friday. I hope everybody received that. I also gave everybody a copy of what I sent to you this evening as well. Just point out some different things. I know last time we talked to you guys so that you guys have some options as to the different things that we can do for this meeting. I hope that I've given a good description of the options as far as it being a town position or a nonprofit organization or a independent contractor.
Comments or questions?
Ever think about what else you're going to do to encompass the whole town?
Yes, so I did a little bit of research on some of the other, I know a couple of other agencies that are out there, so I did a little bit of research on the other businesses, and there's always things that we can do to get the larger corporations to come into town and kind of speak to us, promote to our residents, for job hiring, job fairs, things like that. It's always a good idea to the bigger places like that to maybe do a job fair for all of them, just for the localized businesses. I think that would be a huge help to our residents. And then also including them, in sponsorships or, anything like that we can do to get more advertisement out there that we do have more businesses than just localized in town. You guys don't have any questions?
Really believe there's enough to keep you busy here in town?
Yes. This isn't going to be limited to only like street fair style events.
Right.
I know when we first talked about this last December, I had given you guys a list of kind of some options that we have, but this can also include stuff like job fairs, include stuff like having community meetings for residents that need to learn, like our senior residents that want to learn more in technology, having different meetings for different reasons, for different portions of the community. So our veterans in the community, maybe an outreach program for them so that they can learn where they can get, better health care or mental health care or anything like that. Things that people don't usually get on a daily basis or don't know where to start for. Stuff like that. We can have different events for different holidays. Same with the street fair. And I hope everybody understands that this isn't about having a street fair every month.
Yeah.
And also in this plan that I sent you guys, I would like to try to work on some other things. I'm currently working on the banners for town. I get to look that into the position as well. Kind of good day to breather, having to deal with the banners. Also, community calendar. I think a community calendar would be really great for the whole town, where we can put all the events that are happening, maybe the meetings that are happening, things that the public want to get interested in that maybe they don't see on a regular basis. To be able to put that calendar out every month or even annually would be really great. And then doing, street closure permits. So for me, when I first started coming to you guys and asking you guys about street closures, it was really kind of confusing. I know I stumbled a couple times. I didn't get the signatures first, or I didn't have the right permit, so it can be very confusing for somebody that wants to have an event and have a street closure, wants to have a parade and has a street closure, to not know what the process is. So to have that in one office where we can explain that to them, and then also that office gain the signatures for for the closures from the department heads, not only does that kind of save the department heads time and not having to, interrupt their day, but then it also gives the community member that's looking for that a better idea of how this process is going to go.
A rough estimate, like that event you just had, what do you think it brought in, and what do you think it cost the town of Mooresville to host it, to help with everything?
Okay, so it cost about $2,000 to host an event. For me right now, it's just a little bit more because I have to pay for individual insurance. So I carry an insurance policy for the town of Mooresville when I have each event. Each event is about $2,000 for a street fair. As far as bringing in money for the vendor fees and so on and so forth, you're looking at about $5,000 per event. And then you're also looking at the food and beverage and the sales tax that it brings in for each event that we have, and people in town is spending money. So everybody that comes into town and spends money at Ralph and David's or spends money at Grace Hollow, that's bringing in more tax dollars for the town of Mooresville as well.
I still think this falls under like the Parks Department, and they do the activities, not us. I've told you that once. That's kind of where I still stand. Appreciate everything you do, but that's,
And
and I still think it falls under the parks.
My biggest argument with that is that if it stays as a park position, then it would be limited to only events happening in the park. So the park isn't going to want to host the fundraiser for the police department that I just finished, or the fundraiser for the fire department that I'm currently working on, or anything outside of the park areas. There's so many other areas that we can do things like that we kind of connect with Bicentennial Park, but we also have Southbridge Crossing. That's a huge area that we can use for a lot of things that we do that the park isn't going to use that for. I absolutely agree. The park does,
Yeah, and the direction he's going, I mean, we don't know what's going to happen.
I absolutely agree. For the park, he's picking it up, and he's going to do a lot of stuff, which is really great.
Jeffrey?
I mean, looking at our options, I mean, I like option 3 the most. I don't think we can commit $100,000 up front and then $50,000 a year for the next 4 years. That's a lot of money to me. So I don't know if we pick certain events and we can hire you. If you start your company or whatever you start, that would be my opinion.
Hey?
You know what I think, but
You're not going to hurt my feelings.
well, I'm going to be out.
Just let it out.
I'm probably outnumbered. So, I kind of agree. I think the best shot to get something done would be to do the independent contractor route. I'd like to see something done with maybe offering you office space that's in here, work with you on some things like that. And maybe negotiate some kind of contract where you know exactly what we pay you per event. I know, like with the consultant for the redevelopment commission, that she's getting a lot of money for 11 hours a week committed through a contract position, and she gets office space. So if you're here doing something for the town, I think that might work, you know. I'm outnumbered anyway.
I think that's another good source too, is the Chamber of Commerce. They used to reach out to these businesses. That's another step to try to bug in their ear.
I think with your energy, and I admire that. I think you could go the independent contractor route and not limit yourself to our town.
So the issue that I see with the independent contractor, and I'm just being honest, and please, this isn't anything negative towards any of you, is I actually don't see you guys hiring me to do any kind of event for the town. I mean, there's been street fairs, there's been Victorian Christmas, there's been many things that have gone on in the town for a long time that the town actually hasn't contributed to or promoted for the town. So I just feel like the independent contractor, one, is going to cost you more money in the long run because it's going to be a price per event. And also, I don't feel like there's going to be a whole lot of want for me to do things for the town that I'm not planning on doing.
I may not have been real clear. My thought was to enter in a contract negotiation for however many events for however many dollars.
That's set up front.
That's set up front so the town knows what it's getting and you know what you're committed to
Okay.
with the town. I also think if you do this as a town, you would be it would be like a trial run for a contract. You know, you would be the exclusive liaison for Mooresville's property, Mooresville's commitment with street department personnel or fire and safety and all of that. So I don't know about the insurance, and maybe that could be negotiated. I don't know, but that's how I would do it. That was what I was trying to say. I probably didn't say it very well. So it's a little bit more than just you're on your own with me. I was trying to come up with some kind of hybrid situation.
I mean, if I can be totally honest, I think honestly the cheapest route for the town of Mooresville is just to make it a position for the town of Mooresville. Now I understand that a benefits package comes with that and so on and so forth, which is why I picked a lower end on what I was asking as far as salary. Now obviously with any job that anybody asks for, salary is going to be negotiable and it's going to be something that's going to have to be discussed. I'm not saying that there's not any wiggle room there. And as far as the NPO, there is also a little bit of wiggle room there as far as how much I would ask for a nonprofit organization every year. And that's up for negotiation. But I really feel like that as far as the town of Mooresville goes, the cheapest route for the town is to create a position for the town. Because then you're gaining. So if you do it as an independent contractor, I'm going to gain more than the town does, financially. If we do it as a nonprofit organization, the nonprofit organization is going to gain more than the town does financially. If you do this as a town position, then the town is gaining 100% financially, minus the cost of what it is to employees. Now, as I spoke before, when I first talked to you guys, if I only do 2 events per month for an entire year, that's $120,000. Make. Not to mention, we're also adding into the food and beverage tax and the sales tax and the other things that come along with having people come into town and spend their money. So in the beginning, when I told you guys that this is a self-sustaining position, I truly believe that this is a self-sustaining position.
Further comments? Virginia, I think you laid out 3 options for us, and I think you got the opinion of the council, and I don't know if you want to put something together as far as a contractor put together a business. I think that's what the direction that this council is giving you to go.
For a full-time position?
Yes. But I just like a definite, no, this is not going to happen.
Does anyone on the council want to make a motion that at this time we do not want this to be a full-time position? I think that's what each and every one of you expressed individually. Collectively, she's wanting a vote on that.
My motion would be to move forward with a contract situation entered into by the town, but negotiated by the attorney and you. That's how I would,
agree with that too.
that's how I would do it.
Get a request for proposal, how do we?
Because it's a service, you can contract for services however you deem necessary. So it's not a good.
I guess what she's wanting first is a motion on, not having a full-time and not making it a full-time position. Is that correct?
I made my motion.
Okay. And the motion is, say it again, Shane?
To enter into a negotiation for a contract situation between her and the attorney and present that for a final vote. And earlier I laid out some of the contents that you could consider, so that would remain the same.
Motion been made, do I have a second?
Second.
Made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Josh?
That's no.
Oh, wait, hold on here. Shane, Greg,
Opposed.
so the motion is
I'm not in favor.
Shane. Motion was made by Shane, seconded by Greg, all in favor?
Aye.
Shane, Greg, I'm opposed, well, 3 opposed.
I'm a no.
Aye. Okay, and you're a no. So the vote is Shane, Greg, and then 3-2. Okay,
Thank you.
thank you. Matt? You came before us last meeting, that there was 2 of us, or 2 members were not present. I don't know if you wanted to go over your presentation for the,
The past 2 meetings, my assistant Chief Russell and myself proposed a lateral transfer for firefighters. With that being said, we're just trying to get creative what we are working with our salaries, our vacation, sick time, longevity, stuff like that. With that being said, we looked at different departments that are neighboring departments and stuff like that. A lot of departments are doing whatever to kind of get creative to get qualified personnel in to basically serve their community. And all we are doing, if you remember, about 2021, I presented about a 3 or 4 page lateral proposal. It was tabled, and then this year we started working on it again and made it into a 1-page lateral proposal. Do you guys have the lateral proposal for previous, it looks like? Okay. So, with that being said, I know the last council meeting, I think it was Josh and Greg was wanting to know about, maybe even you, Tom, I'm not sure. Chief Buckner did come up with a lateral proposal on his end. He is actually with his daughter tonight in college. And he asked me to kind of talk about it. He kind of asked me to talk about it a little bit. They are the same, with one exception with his. He taking off the longevity proposal. That with doing this lateral proposal proposal for either fire or police. Now it can be public safety lateral transfers. This would give basically the police and the fire the ability to get qualified candidates that are already eligible and educated and trained to start working our streets.
Since you presented for the chief of police, can we ask you a question about the chief of police? Or would you rather, what was his rationale on the longevity pay, do you know?
Longevity pay,
Like, why didn't he include it, but you did?
so longevity for me, I can explain for myself. Longevity for myself, it was just basically starting something and trying to come up with a solution or to get something to where we can agree on and get somebody here to work with us. As far as why he did not include the longevity, I'm not 100% sure. I can't answer that. I know with the last meeting, after hearing some of the concerns with Tom, I think Josh brought it up. I know even Councilman Cook brought it up a little bit with me. I understand the longevity of it. They work with us, or work for the town. It comes with being that 20-year veteran, or however it is, they do on their pay scale. I can't answer why he didn't do it. I didn't want to change what I've already proposed just to not really make things a little bit unclear. And I'm open for suggestions and I'm open for comments.
You started a process since our last meeting.
I have not, because I kind of wanted to wait for the salary ordinance, and then if this was going to get passed or not, I kind of wanted to wait a little bit to see what happened tonight. But I have not heard.
And how long does the process take?
It usually takes about 2 to 3 months. The time the background checks, the testing, interviews. And with, I think when Chief Russell was up here, it was your guys' kind of a recommendation that you would like to see the laterals go through our first board, which is good. It was just one of those things I was looking at as a budget option of we can take a lateral without doing it. That's one of those, you oversee us as our safety board, and I'm okay with moving that forward and pushing that through as a first when we do laterals and sending them through their first evaluations.
Question, do they currently don't get the holiday time up front?
They do not get holiday time right up front. They don't get that until they're 6 months into it. They get their 40 hours.
But they do get personal days up front, 3 days?
I believe they don't get that until 6 months also into that. Do you remember?
Holidays is right up front.
Right up
Right
front.
up front.
That's kind of what I read.
You're talking holidays or vacation days? I know personal days you said are up front.
Right.
That's 3, right?
Vacation days they don't get until they're 6 months. That's the 40 hours.
Same as the sick days, however, the holiday time, are you sure they don't get that up front?
They get that up front as whatever is left in the year.
So you're really not changing anything with that. Because they're still getting the remaining days.
Correct.
My only concern is the longevity pay. That's my biggest concern. You got people here 10, 15 years. And, you know, Tom made a good point last meeting that, you know, in 23, that was intended to motivate to keep our current employees. So that's one of the things I disagree with having longevity pay.
About the same way, you know, if you get a new hire, that comes in, then a lateral transfer would kind of jump over him on one of the longevity pay.
Joel, does this have to be approved by police commission for the police department, or is it strictly town?
Well, are you talking about
The,
the fire
No.
lateral or
the police, does it have to be approved by police commission, or is it strictly a town policy?
no? This is going to be a town policy because this is the police commission has the responsibilities for making the rules of the operation of the police
Okay,
department. Hiring and the funding of it comes through you guys.
okay, I just wanted to make sure.
So with hearing that, if I may, add that. I basically took the police and fire and combined it into basically 2 pages and took the longevity completely out of it. Jewelry. Again, all I'm doing is trying, and even Chief Carey is trying to be creative with what we are working with to entice new people coming to our town to serve our communities.
With PERF, as members of PERF, we have the unpolitically correct permission to age-based discriminate on hiring. It's not set by us, it's set by the state of Indiana. You have to be 20 years of service. Jeff helped me out here, 53 years, I think. 53 years old and 20 years service.
52.
52?
Yeah.
Okay, so we can say at 35 years old, you're just too old for the process.
They've actually raised that.
Say 37, 40, okay. So we can say that. Are you going to set a limit on that, on the lateral transfer? I know you don't have to, but are you going to?
We don't have to, and I really wasn't planning on setting a limit. I hadn't really thought about it, to be honest with you. I hadn't really thought about it.
Okay,
I know that they changed that statute this year to 40. They raised it from 36 to 40 this year.
because everyone's fighting the same battles.
Everybody's like the same guy.
I still say that this is a great town, great community. I love everyone that works here for the town. The salary, I think we made a great stride tonight on correcting something that was wrong, that we just had never been pointed out before. And obviously we had overlooked it. Every time that we had approved a salary ordinance, because I went back several years and there had always been that $3,000 difference there. The vacation days and the sick time, if a guy's sick, I don't want him at work. If a lady's sick, if an employee's sick, we don't want them at work. But the vacation time, I would think that if you had a new hire here, I always believe that the reason you didn't give them vacation time right off the bat was you wanted their undivided attention to be able to teach them how you wanted them to work for the town of Mooresville, at least for the first 6 months. The holiday pay, I think that takes care of itself. The seniority, obviously, your plan says that's not going to count into it, and we appreciate that. I know you made the comment that the last process you had 29 applicants and 17 qualified and 3 showed up or 3 didn't show up and they didn't have their paperwork. But you also didn't start another process. I don't know if we're holding out for one person, one individual. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know why we wouldn't have started the process sooner. Do you believe that this is going to make an amazing difference in the number of applicants, or is there one specific person that we're eyeing right now?
Right now, that's that unknown question to answer. I can't answer that. We may approve this tonight and we don't get anything, even for us or the police.
I think Terry's done a pretty good job as far as grabbing people from other departments. I think the last couple have been, am I right, Jeff?
Yeah, I believe so.
Some of them just wanted the small town. I think some of them are tired of dodging bullets. Comments or questions from the council?
Regardless, I think we need to start with the process and it's 2 to 3 months. We're spending a lot of time going over this lateral and not getting applicants. So I really think it's very important we start that process.
One person may be out there.
We don't know.
I get it, yeah.
Maybe that young guy that we can't keep off of Little Rock.
I mean, my opinion is if we're getting a lateral, they're coming from another agency, and obviously they're going to be taking a pay cut. Nobody's coming to Mooresville for a pay raise, so I understand that side of it. We can offset that a little bit by taking the probationary pay and salary and bumping them up. But we're talking 48 cents an hour on the police and only, $40 a paycheck for a firefighter. So we're not talking a bunch of money. The time, as far as the time goes, I agree with Tom. I think that's earned. I think the longevity is earned. I don't think you just hand that out. I mean, we're running into a situation on the police department to where a veteran officer was promoted and was threatened with taking his time. So why are we going to give a probationary hire time and let him take vacation? We hadn't been here 6 months, but we're telling a veteran officer, hey, you can't take time off and I'm not going to approve you getting off probation. It's absurd. So I'm not on board with the extra days off and vacation, not on board with the longevity. I am on board with bumping their pay up from probationary pay to regular patrolman pay to help offset whatever pay cut they would take to come work for Mooresville. That's my opinion.
Dane?
I'm okay with it as written minus the longevity pay for both departments. So basically the way Kerry Buckner wrote it and the way you wrote it, minus the longevity pay. So the second sheet that you just gave us today, that's just my opinion. I think we need to be competitive.
Josh?
Mine's the same as Jeff. We've already talked about longevity and all that, so I'd have to agree with him on that.
Gregory?
Proposal a lot better.
But we're seeing that the difference that I'm seeing here is between Jeff and what Jeff and Josh are saying is you're not for the time. Right off the bat. Shane and Greg, you're saying you're for giving them the time right off the bat. They get to 40 hours and vacation time and you're on probation.
Off the bat? Oh, I'm sorry, no.
I need a motion one way or the other.
I make a motion, we let lateral transfers from police and fire to go with salary only from probationary pay to the either regular patrolman pay or firefighter pay.
Motion been made, do I have a second?
Second?
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. Jeff, Josh, 3-2, Shane, Tom, opposed. I don't have a problem with bringing in the new people. I still say that the probationary pay was for a reason, is still for a reason. They're still probationary people. So. Shane and
I
I.
voted no because I wanted to think.
Oh, I hear you. Health insurance renewal.
Said about police and fire. I've had a few new police officers call to verify our benefits or what. That was, the chief was actually out. The truck called me and said, really, this, is this the cost? And so they were excited, and I know where they were coming from, and it was a lot more expensive. We've got to factor that in too. That's, it's not on here, but I just thought. So actually, the health insurance, I'm going to knock the life insurance out first. This is the last page in the packet. Symetra, who we've been with for probably 20 years, new September 1st also. They set up a renewal ahead of time. There's no change in the pricing. In fact, I don't think it's changed in the last 2 to 9 years. So, we just need, we'll need to make a separation of that.
The Symetra is the life insurance that each employee receives or has the benefit of in the untimely event of passing. He's saying that our policy is renewing at exactly the same price as before. We need a motion to either approve or deny the renewal of the life insurance.
I make the motion, we approve the life insurance.
Motion been made, do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Josh, Jeff, 5-0.
Thank you, guys. So the next packet, little packet you've got, I think it's very small. Last Friday, we discussed a lot of this stuff, but I'm going to this at once. Our teledoc usage, which I was a skeptic of, is off the chart. We had 26 visits in 2023 so far. That equates out to about 127% annual utilization. We made a change in that program last year where we added primary care physicians and mental health. Nobody has used the primary care, nobody has switched to a primary care physician, but the mental health, the general medicine, and the dermatology have all been utilized under the teledoc. People like it. Actually, I put it in another group based on this kind of activity. So it's been really, really well. We exceed what Trustmark has as far as the benchmark for that. Our ElectRx program, which is the pharmacy program where we carved out a bunch of the drugs last year, actually 2 years ago, and then made it mandatory last year, is working extremely well. From September of last year, the last renewal, until May 15th, the pharmacy costs for the prescriptions that were filled through ElectRx
just through ElectRx was 371,000. We paid 211, so we saved $160,000. The thing when I went through and I looked at the report, I thought, oh, that would be more than that. But that report's 9 months, and we didn't have the last 13 people. We had 13 holdouts. Everybody went on. There was a couple of them that kicked and dragged at the end, but they went on. And so from January of this year till May, the utilization of that program is even greater. So the savings has actually gone greater in the last 5 months than it did the first 3 months, or 4 months. We also moved Novolog. Initially, Novolog is not on the ElectRx, but we're saving it's such an expensive diabetic medicine. We're saving $1,441 per prescription. It's significant. So the average savings with ElectRx is 43.2%. It's incredible. Our medical claims for this past year are down $93,000 in spite of having some very large claims. So that was a good thing. Our pharmacy claims are up. Our pharmacy claims with CVS Caremark, which that would be the normal stuff you go, you got blood pressure medicine or cholesterol medicine, something like that. Went down from 225,000 to 136, so that was pretty good. Went down $90-some thousand. But then you have to add on that 211,000 for the ElectRx. So our pharmacy costs just continue to go up. I mean, it's 347,000. I remember when it was 80,000. It's just everybody. I get more calls about the latest, greatest. Name it, doesn't matter. And they're all injectables. They're advertised on TV. Pick one. They're all way over $1,000 a month. So, obviously, had we not made that change, our pharmacy costs would be greater. We did get multiple quotes. There's three besides the renewals shown on the sheet. There was a couple more that were declines. The big difference this year is that we have 9 lasers on the renewal quote. Probably the most we've had maybe ever or in the last, I'll say 5 or 6 years. So I went back and I looked at those lasers, and I will say of the 9, there's 3 that I'm worried about, and the rest of them probably won't happen. Based on who they are. Let me see how I'm going to say this. So somebody that's had a treatment in the past and we got whacked because it was a very expensive $300,000-$400,000, has not had anything maybe for 5 years, but they sought what you're supposed to. They went in and had their exams and things last year, so they hit the screen, and so they put a higher amount on. 3 of these, if they don't seek treatment for a particular disease, it doesn't even come into play anymore. So I'm not really worried about it. We talked about it in the meeting a little bit without diving into a lot of detail about it. The administrative fees for Trustmark went up 2.41%. It's like next to nothing. Our IMED, the prescription program is flat, no increase. I think everybody likes that. People like that. Our reinsurance costs actually went down from $783,000 to $755,000. That's a result of the medical claims being less and the pharmacy that's administered under the Caremark program being less. So those were a good thing. Our maximum exposure went up a little bit. When I got this last month, and I was hoping that they weren't going to get that last month of claims runs in, we were actually looked better on our maximum exposure last month. Unfortunately, when they got the June claims in and processed those just last week, actually it was Wednesday of last week, there was a couple large claims in there that I knew were coming. I just hoped that they hadn't hit yet. So it did go up. The maximum is 3.12. If you do the lasers, we were at 3.183 last year, it'd be 3.7, so it's about 600,000 lasers. One of the things that we talked about last year we didn't do was carving out spouses, and it came up again this year. And the reason for that is 39% of our total expenses for employee, 32% of spouses. And that's an abnormal amount. Trustmark does stuff all across the country, and they go, that's high. It should be the other way around. It should be the employee would be the high part, then the spouse. Dependents at 19 is kind of normal. So, again, we don't have to decide on that tonight, but that's something I think we should look at. If we did it, we need to do it for January 1, so, we can come back and talk about that, or we can have an insurance committee meeting and have a little more detail about why that would be a good thing. It would involve, if we did that, Trustmark would be sending some stuff out, and it would have to go out before the first of the year so that we can notify everybody that that's the case. So they could still be on our plan, but if they had coverage, as example, if spouse works at the school, they would get their insurance through the school. They could be secondary on ours. But the insurance for that spouse will be primary through whoever the employer is, and then the dependent children also go with whoever has the earlier birth month. So we might lose, we would lose his house for sure if there's coverage available. We may lose some dependent children because of that as well. So just something to think about. Our large claims went down 18% last year, so even with some whoppers in there, we talked briefly again, whether you increase the cost of employees in the 2250 pay period, that's up to you, it has nothing to do with us. The last thing was, we've had a couple issues come up where we had to consult the handbook. The handbook really needs to be updated, especially with FMLA and people use and stuff like that. We really make sure that is understood. Again, not my thing. They just asked for something and I said, I don't know. So, anyway, my recommendation is to go with the Litchfield option 1. It was on and we'll forward in there. And I did give you a little sheet that shows you what about 7 drugs cost. Novolog, $3,500 through Electronics, $5,000 through CVS. So Sheba, $3,900 through almost $4,000 through CVS, $2,800 through Electronics. So it's a big savings. Trying to avoid having another month of claim trends come in, because I know that we have a significant one coming in.
Questions for Dean? Again, we are self-insured to a point. He talks about the maximum exposure and the aggregate and the attachment points. There are fixed costs, and you said that those did go down. We have 77 employees that are covered with their spouses and families. The fixed cost is if no one gets sick the entire year, that we still have to pay that. That is the insurance for anything above our high deductible, which is $50,000 per person. And then that's also the policy for an aggregate or a total exposure amount. If 46 people, members, were to get sick and spend $50,000 on each one, that would get us to our total of $3.1 million. And we would spend no more. The insurance would cover back and forth. Currently, we do budget $28,000 per employee out of their respective funds, or low it for the police and fire, edit for some of our employees also, wastewater treatment. We did steal just a little bit of that money. Not steal, I shouldn't say it that way. We budgeted some of that money to make the longevity increase work, knowing that this year we would have to budget back into those numbers. This does put us with the money that we have saved back. The state of Indiana does allow us to take our insurance fund and make it a non-reverting fund. The amount that we have in there, plus the budgeted amount, we should be safe or good for at least another year. Are there any questions from the council?
And when you look at, we spent 1.3 through 9 funds, so we budgeted
Two.
through 2 something.
Mhm.
Yeah, so we've only had 2 years where we've barely, in the last 20 years, where we've exceeded that. And then we get reimbursed if we do that anyway. Yeah, we've always been in way to do that. So that number doesn't really bother me too much because it's just the number. We're usually well under that.
Motion from the council.
I'll make a motion to renew with Litchfield option 1, provided that we eliminate town council member coverage for the 2024 year, beginning the 24 year.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
We eliminate it. What do we do with the savings?
Maybe sewer rates, I don't know.
Do we know what would save the town if the council came off of it now?
Maybe not the top of my head. Next, looking at it by individual claims, by member, by family, the drug cost, the medical cost, the cost of the actual cost of the premium.
Means,
I think this is one of the premiums about $1,000 a month. So we know that it's that, and then really, even though there's a $50,000 deductible per person, let's say somebody has no claims. Well, the only cost for that council member is the fixed cost.
Right.
Or if the council member has, pick a number, $100,000 in claims. The first $50,000 is paid by the town, and the next 50 is reimbursed by the insurance company. So, without knowing from year to year what the claims are, it's not a number that you can figure it out. Yeah.
the liability though is up to 50,000 per individual insured, including the family members per year. So it's the premiums plus up to 100,000, depending on how they are, how sick they are, or not. Mhm. From a budgetary standpoint, though, we budget 28,000 a person, correct? So it'd free up that many just from a budgetary standpoint, not from an actual dollar standpoint. It might free up more, plus the premiums.
Just a quick question on that motion from Councilman Williams. If you're removing, you put this out with fixed number of employees and covered bodies.
Yes.
Would this change if you are removing bodies from that? I mean,
It will change the fixed administrative cost.
okay. And
The only other reason it would change is if somebody, if one of the five, if one, if any of the five were on the list, I'll call it the naughty list, 50,000 or more claims, then that might change. It wouldn't change a lot, but one or two would not make a big difference. So, as far as the cost, that part. Yeah,
I'm just worried about the renewal and the quote from
If
the
we went from
companies.
77 down to 72, yeah, we reduce the fixed cost. And it does that every month anyway. I mean, not every month, but if we add an employee, it goes up. If we lose an employee, it goes down. So it's based, the fixed cost premium for the admin and the reinsurance cost is based on that actual number of employees every month. And whether they're single or family.
And I understand that. I'm just saying for the rest of the quote itself and the cost analysis of it, is it going to impact what the quote is?
Motion was made. I do not see a second. Oh, sorry, Jeff, were you gonna?
No, I'm thinking, if we can take the savings and distribute it or raise this to the employees, I'm not here for the insurance, you know? I mean, I would definitely be in favor of passing along to our employees. I mean, we've received letters from the Kirkwood campaign. They're obviously against the insurance. You know, we've gotten emails with that. So I second it.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Aye. Is there another motion?
Motion to renew with Litchfield.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Opposed?
Aye.
Please renew.
Thank you. Just let me know and we'll schedule that.
Department heads.
Real quick, just kind of an update. I talked to the clerk's office today. I know we have not received any update back kind of the date. The last one we had, we did have some hail damage and wind damage on the station. We're just waiting on the insurance adjuster to come back and say all that. He did advise me to talk to Superintendent Moore. I know that he's going to kind of go around looking at this building, make sure that none of the buildings are done. That's what our adjuster I met with on our firehouse to look at it. Try to check our building out, make sure nothing else is damaged during this one. We did receive a check for the surplus vehicle. With being that said, I would like for council to reappropriate that money with the $9,000 back to the fire department so I can get the appropriate lights put into the new staff vehicle.
By ordinance, so, yeah. Motion to have legal move forward with an ordinance.
So moved.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
I have nothing further to discuss.
Did you find a new vendor for your lighting?
I did.
Okay. When does it go in?
Tomorrow, sir.
How long will they have it? Okay.
Chief, I want to make clear to you and everyone else, my vote earlier that was a nay was because I wanted the whole policy. So I wasn't against what they passed, but I voted no because I wanted the whole. Yeah, you understand. I just want to make that clear to you personally.
Any other questions? I'm not further. Thank you.
Thank you. Can you respond to
evening, members of the council. I have a few project updates it's been a while since I updated you on the Old Town Park restroom facility. With that, I'm not going to say the date out loud because every time I do, it changes. We are waiting on confirmation, but it is slotted for a specific date and morning delivery. And it is within this month. But I will not say the specific date. So the reason for that delay is the normal installing crew is stuck on the East Coast installing the various amount of buildings. They've hit delays with that, so we're now working with their secondary delivery install crew. Same compatible crew. They can do the job just as well as their first crew. It's just that they're pushing us up because of how many delays that we've faced with this project. So eager to hopefully come to you in August, and we're all good to go. Other updates for you as well, and also for the community. You've got a few short days coming up. The pool will be closing on August 2nd. Will be the last day for the community to come take a dip in our pool. Following the closure of that is the Old Settlers celebration. So please come out and support the Lions Club in Pioneer Park. The other updates, as I've alluded to in other meetings, the master plan, concept plan for Pioneer Park's northern parcels has been adopted for concept by our park board, and we are moving forward with now the financial stability of the structure of how we can be creative on making this from concept to implementation. With that, if it pleases the council, I would like to bring that plan, that presentation to you at your next meeting, so the council can also voice your opinions, questions, concerns. We are currently working with Baker Tilly on the funding strategies, and following that presentation at your next meeting, we will then follow that up at your next meeting with Baker Tilly and I financial strategy. Beyond that, I can answer your questions. I do have a couple other items, but I know that's a big topic, so council have any questions? Okay. Today, the department heads, we sat at our normal meeting, and we were discussing through our IT services as a town infrastructure as a whole. We do have a current contract, which is in place until October 30th. I speak as the department head and as the consensus of our department heads that we would like to request council's permission to move forward with drafting a RFP proposal for IT services for our town infrastructure.
And you're willing to take that on?
Yes, sir.
Is there any objection?
They want to do what now? On RF what?
RFP request for proposal
Okay.
For IT, for informational technology management services for the town of Morrisville. That would be including IT services for our police, fire, waste management, street building, operations, and also park system as well rolled in that.
Who do you use currently?
Currently, right now, we are using. You want to help me on that? It's all right. Currently, park system we use outsource IT, but the town infrastructure we use
Town Magic.
So we believe that it's the best interest of the town moving forward as we continue to grow in future projects. That it may be time for us to seek other opinions from other outside organizations to present or have the opportunity to present their best pitch for the town's IT services.
That's common anyway with the contract coming up and it expiring.
Yeah, because he said it's due. We signed a
October.
3-year contract,
Sure.
and I know we all met with him individually last year, and I think this would be it. Takes it out of our hands. Motion for him to move forward.
So move.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Made and seconded, all in favor? Aye. F. Josh.
I appreciate your time. At this time, I would like to answer any general questions that the council may have.
Thank you.
Have a good evening.
Thank you. I think it's, the restrooms will be here before they need winterized, right? Better that way. You're good. I just asked if the restrooms were going to be here before they needed winterized.
Yes, if you're not, I'll be more bold than what I am now.
Just have a couple things, I think we mentioned earlier that I signed a request to proceed with Wallace this week, and our sewer lining, the company Inliner, they're finally going to start August 15th. They measuring pipes, diameters, things like that. We're going to do about 20 manhole rehabilitations. That's all I have. Any questions?
Make sure you get that list to Calvin. Calvin, do you have anything for us? I didn't pass you this time. Sorry.
I don't have very much to discuss. These guys are over there. This month. And hopefully, mostly because we've got some good flow. We haven't had a lot of rain. Pretty steady. So they're doing a heck of a job. First day of the lines. So we're going to fix it.
Those guys have done an amazing job. They've turned that thing around in the past 2 years, made it back where it needed to be, and I certainly appreciate it. Clear?
Thank you.
Legal.
Nothing for you today.
Further comments from the public?
First of all, I don't think these are working because the new back here can't hear half the people over here. So, anyhow, thank you for approving seeking IT support. That's what I wanted to comment on. After I last spoke 2 meetings ago, I was grabbed by somebody that works for the town and said, thank you for saying what you said, because and I don't remember the details of the story, but basically they relayed how they spent 4 hours doing a simple communication thing over the internet that should have taken 10 minutes, 4 hours. And we, as a town, need to get our internet, IT, whatever, hardware stuff fixed and working effectively for our employees. And the other thing is they talked about doing HR work, which scares me, because I used to work in management for a company of a few hundred people. We had a dedicated HR person. I don't know if the town has anybody in SHRM, SHRM, Society of Human Resources Management, but we should. It's only $200 a year to join. They're a great resource, but if we don't have folks that are trained in doing that, I'm afraid the town can be taken advantage of. Not unbeknownst to the town, being taken advantage of. And the other thing is, we could do something wrong and get sued. And be in deep water. So I'm not supporting, hey, let's go hire a full-time HR person, but get somebody in here that does that for a living, on a contract, part-time, whatever basis. So those were other uses of the town's money that I had mentioned. And I had also talked about an animal control officer, and honest to goodness, I spend too much time on Facebook, right? I know maybe some other people might do that too. And this, in the past couple of weeks, every day there's reports of lost dogs, lost cats, and even lost pigs in town. And yet we've got one animal control officer for all of Morgan counties down in Martinsville, if you call him. He may or may not come up here. So there are things that we can be doing. I did hear a little bit about, Shelby wants to help out a lot, and I heard something about doing stuff with veterans. I'm a veteran. I don't want to duplicate efforts. I know the VA's gotten some bad press over the years. The VA in Indiana, it's awesome, okay? It really is. And we don't even have to go to Marion County. We've got our own clinic down here in Morgan County, and there's another new one up in Hendricks County. And if for some reason somebody didn't want to use the VA, we have got very active American Legion and VFW Post
in town, and they're not just places for hanging out and drinking beer and telling stories. They really do a lot for the vets. So, yeah, that was just my 2 cents. I want to follow up for the last one. No questions, right?
Any other comments? Motion for approval of payment of claims.
Motion for approval and the payment of claims in the amount of $617,087.75.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Greg, Josh, 5-0.
Motion to approve payroll clearing in the amount of $238,336.29.
Motion been made. Do I have a second?
Second.
Made and seconded. All in favor? Aye. Greg, Josh, 5-0. Town council comments. Jeffrey?
I do have some, more for legal. I've had some complaints on animal control to touch on, what he was discussing. There's some problems with that. The stray cats, I talked to you several meetings ago. We've got a contract with them. We pay them $23,000 a year, getting absolutely nothing from it. Had a neighbor come to me with a complaint that said that they're no longer trapping, spaying, neutering the cats for the rest of the year, and nor are they coming up to get cats. Not to put them in the middle, I called myself, didn't tell them who I was, explained the situation, and again, they refused to come up. And that's a problem. We're paying for a service, not getting it. We're out $23,000. I don't know what kind of service the county's getting, but they're paying $164,000. So I don't know if it's an option. We can combine services to maybe do something else for animal control. So, yes.
Pardon me, Susan Snyder. May I ask which organization you're providing money to?
Humane Society for
For the Humane Society.
Animal Control. Yeah, sorry.
I volunteer for the street pet community outreach, and we are actively catching cats.
Okay, yeah, through the Morton County Humane Society.
I just wanted to make sure.
Thank you for making me correct that. So if we could look into that and maybe get some answers, I don't know. Again, it's the only game in town, so I don't know what to do.
The issue we have is for the $23,000 we're spending, we can't afford our own kennel officer and all of that stuff now. If we're not getting any benefit from that at all, if they're not doing it, then it doesn't make a difference, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, you're entering the budgetary process here shortly, and so I think it's going to be a lot of analysis there as to how do we address the problem.
Again, I don't know what the option could be. I don't know if we could partner with the county. I don't know. I mean, with them putting $164,000 towards it, that's a lot of money to me. So, I don't know. I don't remember what our animal control budget was, Mark, before you retired. Without going back to look, I can't remember offhand. But we've got a very nice kennel facility. Okay. So that's not that far off, but I don't know what we do with the animals if we catch them, if they're not accepting or adopting out, so.
Or if I remember right, they were still they would charge us when we took animals down there too. Anything else, Jeff?
I'll have to look and try and find.
Okay.
I don't have one.
Same. Our next meeting date will be Tuesday, August 1st. 6:30. Need a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. Second. Sorry, you didn't call for a second yet, but.
Motion
I
made
didn't
and
think
seconded,
you
all in favor?
Aye.
Yes.
You don't have to hurry to get out of here.
So is there any truth to the rumor about one by Ant-Man?
Ant-Man. Hey, look.
Yeah, Mark White came over and like said, well, I got
We have to take
a
that.
$200 bill from Telemanagement to go over and try to fix their phone. That's all right. No big deal.
It's just a private.
Let me get this.
I believe most people